Well, hey there. Welcome to the Movie Review Mom YouTube channel. I'm the mom and I do the movie reviews. And my goal is to give you the heads up on filmmaking quality and content so that you can make the best decision as to whether or not you want to spend time or money or both sometimes watching a specific film. So if you are new to my channel, yay, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're a returning subscriber, yay, I'm so glad you came back. So the movie I'm reviewing today is called Wonderwell. This fantasy drama is now playing in select theaters and on digital platforms. The movie is rated PG-13 and is an hour and 36 minutes. My movie review mom grade is a B. I thought it was a very sweet film. I'm going to give you some good and some bad, things I liked, things I didn't like about the movie, some tips for parents, themes worth talking about, interesting lines, recommendations for other films that are sort of similar. But before all of that, let me give you an overview in a nutshell. First of all, congratulations to Vlad Marsavin for his directorial debut. This screenplay was written by William Brookfield from Kidnapping Mr. Heineken, if you've ever seen that. Set between modern day Italy and the fantastical realm just beyond, Wonderwell is a coming of age fairy tale that follows Violet, who's played by Kira Millward, a naive and inquisitive 12-year-old girl, on an intriguing adventure with Hazel and Yana that will transform her life forever. All right, so here's the list of things that I really liked about the film. First of all, I loved the music and images during the very opening credits at the beginning. So magical and intriguing. It set the tone. I was ready for a magical adventure. I think that the opening credits and the things that happen during them are really important because it really does get you excited and set the tone for expectations. I absolutely loved seeing Carrie Fisher. Now, most people know her as Princess Leia from Star Wars, right? Although she did many other things. I remember seeing her as a teenager singing on the stage with her famous multi-talented, iconic mother, Debbie Reynolds. Sadly, this was Carrie Fisher's last film. Before she passed, she turned 60 years old and had a lavish birthday party inviting everyone from the cast and crew of this movie, which I think is so sweet. And I'm sad to see her go. One of the co-stars, Rita Ora, said of Carrie, quote, working alongside Carrie Fisher was one of those experiences that you never forget. I can't wait for the world to see this intriguing and magical world of Wonderwell. Rita is a world-class singer in her own right. Other cast members include Rita, Kira Millward, as I mentioned, Nell Tiger Free, and Sebastian Croft. The music is just lovely. It features music from William Ross, who did Destination Wedding and Ladder 49, with a song called Violet's Theme, composed by Grammy winner Angelo Badalamenti from Mulholland Drive and Twin Peaks, if you ever saw those. And it's performed by the London Symphony Orchestra. It features many of the changes the protagonist is going through. You can actually hear those. The music changes from dark to light, to also illustrate the differences between the two realms where this protagonist travels. Like many films nowadays, the story features an alternate universe. In this film, they don't call it a meta universe, but it's kind of like what it is. Fun fact, this movie originated as a short story and then was turned into a movie short, winning several awards. Now it's a feature film, and the themes of light and dark are illustrated in the lighting of various scenes, as well as in the two witch sisters themselves. The scenes where one of the little girls interacts with nature are so sweet. I love how the flowers just willingly wrap their stems around her wrist. And the first time you see it, you're like, what? What is this? And it's just very innocent and sweet. The film was shot in beautiful Italy, specifically Rome and Tuscany. I love both of those areas so much. I've been to both of those areas several times. My husband and I are so obsessed with Italy that we remodeled our house to kind of look like a Tuscan villa. Needless to say, the gorgeous location must have made it easier for the cinematographer, Kenji Katori, and the director to get stunning shots. I mean, you can't hardly take a bad picture there. It's just so beautiful everywhere you look. In order to visually separate the two worlds, notice how the color palette changes. And of course, there are some outfits that are different and a few other things, but that's one of the keys to help you be able to figure out who's who and what's going on. Italy is known for its incredible fashion design. So Italian costume designer Nicoletta Ercole and her team showcased over 800 costumes for the actors, plus Yana's entire fashion line. And it's really fun to see Yana coming out with all of these costumes, which are just so awesome. So if you like fashion, I think you'll really like that element of the story. The visual effects team combined CGI with live action and a few animatronics to create the fairy tale feeling of Wonderwell. The special effects budget had some challenges, which resulted in the film's release of 7 years. Ultimately, the movie does a great job of illustrating the delicate transfer from childhood to maturity. Now, with all of that praise, there were just a few things that I didn't like or just thought could have been done better or differently. For example, it's a little bit confusing as the story bounces between the two alternate areas, and you're not sure if this is live time or if they're going back in time. Some of the scenes are just a little bit confusing. The movie starts as a somewhat sweet, innocent story, but quickly develops more mature themes. Not like, rated R types of themes, but it's not just an innocent childhood story. Because of that, it's hard to know which age really is the perfect target audience for the film. I would say it's generally family friendly, and you'll just have to know your children the best to know if they'll be frightened. There's nothing super scary, but there are some ominous overtones. Watch the trailer, and if you're like, yeah, I think we can handle that, then you're probably good to go. So in leading into that, here are some tips for parents. There is some profanity in English and Italian. I can understand a little bit of Italian. That's how I caught that. Two girls fight over wanting to kiss the same boy. There are a few scary images, like I said, more ominous, not like big monsters, and that kind of stuff, but a few moments where young children might be frightened. There are some mature topics, as I mentioned, for example, infidelity, that kind of thing. Some of the other themes that are illustrated are coming of age, family, womanhood, imagination, seeing others for what and who they really are, jealousy, choices and accountability, sisterhood, nature, power, good versus evil, male and female power, and sexual exploitation in the fashion industry. That's not a big, huge theme, but it's definitely a message you could talk to your kids about as you watch what happens in the story regarding that industry. All right, so I always share funny lines or interesting lines just so that you can kind of get a taste and feel for the dialogue. I write them all down on my written review at moviereviewmom.com, so you can see them all there. I'll share just a couple of them with you right now. One of the funny lines, at least I thought was kind of funny. And by the way, this is not a comedy. It's more sweet, like I said at the beginning, but not lots and lots of humor per se. Some visual humor, some spoken, but not a ton. But anyway, Carrie Fisher plays this good witch whose name is Hazel, and she's talking to the young protagonist about boys, and she says, if you believe everything that boys tell you, you're going to have a very rough life. It made me laugh because it's true. And then another line, which was an interesting line that she says, is, you fear the me in you. So in this movie, there is a lot of trying to figure out who is good, who is evil, and understanding or trying to figure out what people's motivations are. And that's what this young girl has to figure out. And that's a hard thing to figure out sometimes. All right, let me give you some recommendations for some other films that I instantly thought of as I was watching this one. The first one that came to my mind is The School for Good and Evil. It's offered on Netflix, and I think The School for Good and Evil is really more for teenagers, maybe preteens, because there are some scary moments in that one. Another movie I thought of is Catherine called Birdie. Now, it takes a preteen young woman who lives during the Renaissance in medieval times and over in Europe somewhere. And it starts off very funny. She's a fast talking, very spirited young woman. And then it takes a very dramatic turn, just like this movie does. And then the last one that I thought of is called Lady Bird. I thought of it because it's also a coming of age story of a young woman, although she's a little bit older. Fantastic performances. Also, a young woman, young girl who's trying to figure out life and who she is and all of that. So watch the trailers or watch my movie review of all of those films. You can find them here at Movie Review Mom. All right, that's it. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me. As always, if my reviews are helpful, be sure and hit a thumbs up. That actually spreads magical YouTube fairy dust all over my channel, and it helps my channel to grow. When you get a minute, run over to Facebook and join our Movie Review Mom Facebook group, where we've got lots of fun conversations and things going on over there. All right, have a great day. I hope you enjoy this as much as I did, and I will catch you in the next movie review. Bye for now.